welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a sewing video and I'm really excited because this video is in collaboration with Craft Co and Mattel for the Mattel of Barbie. I'm literally so excited. So in this video I'm going to be doing the new Craft House waistcoat. I know this is one of the projects that I have made recently, but I thought it would be the perfect project for this video because Craft Co have a line of Barbie fabrics that are just so fun and the perfect timing with the launch of the new Barbie movie. So I'm going to make a very Barbie-esque quilted waistcoat to chuck on over outfits when I'm feeling like I need a little bit of Barbie vibes in my life. So if you are new to this channel, make sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and let's get started. So I'm holding my camera with my hand, so if it's a little bit on the shaky side, that is why. And I just wanted to show you quickly the details of the make. So I've cut out everything already. I'm doing the new Craft House waistcoat, which I'll leave a picture of the diagram of it there. And then I'll also insert a picture of my kind of sketch and what I'm thinking for this waistcoat. It's definitely something that's a bit fun. It's not something for everyone, I know that. I had to put it down because my arm was hurting. So I just thought it was a great way to use these cotton fabrics and to show you how much fun you can have with cotton. It doesn't just have to be for quilting, you can make garments with it, and what a fun way to incorporate the Barbie style or lifestyle then with a cute little waistcoat, which is like a lovely, very not necessary accessory to have in your life to wear over cute little outfits. Sun is changing a lot today. It's like cloudy, so some minute it's sunny, some minute it's not sunny, so apologies if my camera is like having a moment to catch up. So anyways, the waistcoat itself is going to have some little heart pockets on the front because I just thought that was really cute. The way I did this was I took the new Craft House pocket piece, I literally folded it in half and then cut out a kind of heart shape, and I literally just followed it like this. You can find a template, you can find a heart shape online and print it out if you need to, but I just did it by eye and I love the shape that it turned out. I used the size of the pocket pattern piece as a reference, so that's why I cut it literally from the pattern's pocket, because then I could see that it would be a good size for the waistcoat. So the way I've done this is I've cut out some of the Barbie fabric. So this is one of the fabrics that are launching on Craft Co. It's really cute pink backing with the Barbie kind of logo throughout, and then like these really cute little Barbie logo-y type illustrations on. And then I've got some of their beautiful plain cotton fabric as well. I've got this colourway and I've also got this sort of pastel-y pink. So there's like a bubblegummy pink and a bright pink like that. So I'm using both of these fabrics, and then also another one from Barbie, this really cool Barbie print fabric as well. This would make such a cool like bed sheet or bedspread or like wall art in your like child's room or something like that, or you could do like a really fun little like clutch bag or something. But I'm using it for the lining, and then the outer pieces are going to be the plain cottons. So I'm going to have the bubblegum pink on the front and the back, and then the bright pink is going to be the binding and the pockets. So it will be really cute, and then the Barbie fabric is going to be on the inside, so you won't see it from the outside, but it will be a really lovely feature when you're wearing it sort of open, and you'll be able to see it sort of on the inside, like little snippets of it, which I think will be really wearable and really cute. So with the sewing for this project, I am following along with the new Craft House instructions. I'm using 3 layers. So we've got the wadding, this is a bamboo wadding. I'll leave everything that I mentioned in the description box below. So we've got wadding, we've got an outer layer, and then we've got a lining layer. They're going to be sandwiched together, and then I'm going to do a free motion embroidery of a little flower shape, which I think is going to be so cute. So I'm going to put the camera down and show you how to set it all up. Here are the pieces in closer detail. So we have 2 side fronts in our main fabric, 2 side fronts in our lining, and 2 in our wadding fabric, which is a bamboo wadding. And then we have the same with the back, so 3 layers in total. You want to sandwich the bamboo wadding in between your outer layer and your lining layer, with the right sides facing out on both the lining and the outer. Then we're going to go ahead and use some curved safety pins to pin them all together. Here's the little template that I'm using for my quilting. I created a flower shape on my Cricut and just cut it out in some craft sort of card. I'll leave the link below to the flower shape because it's actually one of my own designs on the Cricut Artist program. After drawing a few of the flower shapes on the back, I actually decided that in the interest of time I was going to do some simple quilted lines on the back piece, just because you won't really see it that much and the flower shapes would take rather a long time to stitch, so I went with just inch sort of wide lines on the back. I then repeated the same process with the side front pieces, so sandwiching together the lining, the wadding, and then the outer, well, the main fabric. Once those pieces were laid together, I then took my little flower stencil and placed it on the main fabric, so on the pink side. I used a pen. This is a fabric pen that is erasable with heat, so once you're finished with whatever you're doing in your project, you just iron it away, which is really cool. So I just traced the outline of the stencil, moved it around, and I did it kind of, I don't even know how you'd explain this, but so instead of them just being, you know, gridded on top of each other, I kind of placed them so that they were like halfway from the other flower and just kind of spread them out that way. I'm not sure on the best way to describe this, but you can see in the visual how I did this. So I'm going to speed this process up so you can see how I did every single flower shape and just kind of did it by eye and placed them so that they were just a few millimeters apart from each one. Okay, lovely. So you have to forgive the background noise. I've got my fan on as it's very hot today. So I have started the quilting process. All my layers are wedged together. I decided to sew the outer pieces together and then the lining and the batting together, and then they are now sort of pinned wrong sides together like so. So you've got a nice clean finish on the lining, on the inside, on the outside as well, so I don't have to bias bind all the edges of the quilting, the quilted pieces like I did with my other sew along. And this is essentially what you do in the new craft house pattern instructions for the everyday waistcoat, so I've just essentially followed along with that. So if you've got this pattern, that's what you're following. That's the process that I've done. I've now pinned wrong sides together, the outer and the lining and batting, so they're all sort of sandwiched, and now I can start quilting before I obviously bias bind the armholes and all around the edges and stuff like that. So the quilting process, I was going to do flowers on the front and back, but because I have to do this with a free motion embroidery foot, I knew it would take me hours if I did all of it. So the front is going to be flowers and then the back is going to be simple quilted lines. So the process of this, I'm using a walking foot. I highly recommend getting one of these sewing machine foots. I literally use mine all the time. I rarely take it off nowadays. It's just so handy for thick projects like this, and just keeping your projects nice and flat and everything else. The stitch I've just set to a stitch length of 3, as I just find that works best for me with quilting. I don't want it too small or too long. You can make it longer, I could do a 3.5, but a 3 is fine at the moment. I might change it to a 3.5 if I start getting fed up. So yeah, I'm going to sew my stitch lines and do the back quilt. It's essentially just sewing straight lines of stitches and then straight lines across, and then when I get to the flowers I will show you how I'm going to set up my machine and talk through that a little bit more detail. Okay my lovelies, so the quilting is done on the jacket, well on the back, sorry. I'm just going to go with the straight lines actually and not do the ones across, because where the detail inside of the Barbies is like, you know, thin like that, I think it would ruin it if I went across as well, because it might sew too many lines and take away from the nice pattern. So I'm going to keep it like that. Now moving on to the flowers, and we're going to be using some free motion embroidery, and in order to do that you need a sewing machine that you can drop the feed dogs, that is these little like groovy bits on the bottom of your sewing machine. Hopefully I can zoom in there, these little bits here. Now I actually have a switch on the back of my machine, so that brings them back up. Let me just put that down. That brings the little guys forwards and backwards, and then with the switch, if I put the camera around, and if you've got a switch like this, you can click it and that will drop the feed dogs. That stops your machine pushing through whatever project you're working on, and it stops it feeding the fabric through the machine, so you can kind of guide it anywhere and the stitches can then go anywhere. Some machines don't have that feature, so double check that your machine does. And then sometimes you'll have like a button at the bottom of your machine here or here, so just have a look at your manual and it will tell you if you have that functionality. I also then have the free motion sewing machine foot on there as well. This helps me to guide where I'm stitching, but you can do it without. It just means that it's a little bit unsafe with your fingers near the needles, just be careful. And then I've just got it set to a standard stitch, so I'm going to put this on 3. One of the old machines, when you've got a stitch length or anything like that, drop the stitch length to 0. I find that is helpful as well, because then your machine isn't dictating how much you can move the machine. So I'm going to try it on a 0 and just see how I go. It might be fine to just keep it on the same amount. I can't remember what it is with this machine, because I haven't done as much free motion with this machine than I did with my old machine. So yeah, in terms of setup, put your project in the machine. Let me do it, I'm just doing this one-handed, so let me just set it up and then I'll talk you through it. Once you have your project in the machine, you want to put your needle in and then pull up that bobbin thread through the project so it comes up, and that way you don't get any bunching underneath, because sometimes when you're doing embroidery, if you're working on a spot loads, you might get bunching on the bobbin thread, and it helps you keep track of where it is. So now that's in, drop the needle in and we can make a start. The sewing process is pretty simple. You just need to follow the lines with your stitching, and because it's a free motion foot, you'll see here, you can literally just guide your fabric or your project into the machine in whatever direction. You don't need to feed it through like you would a normal stitch where it goes from front to back, but actually you can just go on rotation round corners and all that kind of fun stuff, which makes it like you're drawing with your stitching. It's so much fun. I went over my stitch lines a couple of times, and then when it was done, I ironed out all of that pen. It's one of those heat removal pens. Trimmed off all the excess wadding, and then it was time to move on to the pockets. With right sides together, I matched up the outer pocket and the lining pocket piece and stitched all the way around, leaving a 1 or 2 inch gap. You can see this is one that I did earlier for reference. I clipped around the corners, ready to turn it through the little hole that I left open. Once it's turned through, you want to try and neaten out all the edges as much as possible, and then head over to your iron to iron it all nice and flat, and then we will stitch up the little hole. I just did this by pinning it onto the waistcoat where I wanted it, and then I stitched the hole in the same stitch as the top stitch of the pocket. And then it was time to do all of the binding. This goes around the outside of the waistcoat as well as the armholes, and you can follow the instructions in the New Craft House waistcoat pattern, and it sort of explains it in a little bit more detail, but here's a little look at what that is like. And once it's all sewn around, you then fold it back on itself and top stitch, or you can hand stitch it in place, but I just used my sewing machine and top stitched it down. And there we have it, you guys. Once that binding was on, the jacket was finished. I'm so pleased with it. The flower quilting turned out just as I'd hoped, and I absolutely love it, so I hope you do too. And there we have it, you guys. Here is the finished vest. I absolutely love it. It is definitely too hot to be wearing it right now, but it's just so cute. I love the little heart pockets and how they turned out. I feel like if I made it again, I'd add some little ruffles around the hearts or something, but I just think they look so cute. And because of the contrasting fabric, like the bright pink against the lighter pink, it's not too in your face, but it's like super cute. And then of course the flower quilting is something that's quite subtle, but actually just looks so beautiful, especially when you see it close up. I love how it looks and how it's turned out. And then the back is these little like straight lines. And I've added a little woven label at the top as well, just for like a little detail. So yeah, I hope you like it. I'm styling it with just an oversized white floaty blouse and some pink mum jeans, just for some kind of cute Barbie vibes. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll leave a link in the description box below where you can find the Barbie fabric, as well as the pinks that I've used from Craft Co. And a link to the new Craft House waistcoat pattern. That's a mouthful when you've got braces. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and seeing how to do some free motion embroidery, seeing the cute sort of Barbie themed look at the end. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, you guys. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye!